welcome to another video. Electronic torture, how to survive it, part 11. And I have to continue with my last video, part 10. I was telling about how to treat this critical point with potassium iodide and iodide with this Lugol solution, and I must add something which is very important. I was when I did this several days, 2 times per day, in the morning, in the evening, I felt very sick, and I was thinking about this feeling. I had it before when I when I had heavy metal treated with alpha lipoic acid, and I came to the conclusion that this point has something to do with heavy metals, and this makes sense because as I said in other videos, they spray barium and strontium for inhaling, that we inhale it, and this barium and strontium is going into our brain, so it is magnetic, so they can hit us here with electromagnetic waves, with scalar waves. And if you put iodide and potassium iodide right here on this point, you may feel sick and you get a feeling of fever, but you don't have fever. It's just a feeling of having fever, and you get sick. You feel it feels like an infection, like a virus, but it's not a virus. So I tried this. I have to look for the name. It is from a plant from India, and the name of this is Psyllium seed husk. So Psyllium seed husk is a plant. You take this 2 teaspoons in a glass of water. You do it in the morning and the evening, and you will feel that you feel better then. It is because this psyllium seed husk catching heavy metals, and so if you treat this critical point here with Lugol solution, at the same time you should take this. This is a quite good method to get rid of heavy metals. There are also other methods like alpha lipoic acid, but this plant is quite comfortable way, because alpha lipoic acid, if it is too high, in Germany we have a problem. We have only doses of 150 or 300 milligram. This is quite too much. It makes you sick. It makes you sick also, and there are no smaller doses available in Germany. So I decided to take this, and this helps me a lot. And there's also another thing that is good for your nervous system. It is called papaya. I show you this papaya makes you stronger. So you may feel sometimes kind of crazy feeling in your head, that you feel anxious, that your nervous system is not so good, and this helps a lot. I don't know why. It is caused in this fruit. It is from I think it's from Africa or Latin America, but it has to be organic produced, because if you take a normal papaya, it is full with this organic phosphates that steal your copper, and yes, this it must be organic produced, otherwise it makes no sense. You can try it. It helped me a lot. So my feelings, my brain um, became more stable again, like before this, in all the days, all the times. So this papaya can be helpful, but the main thing I want to say in this video, if you treat this point, you should do this, because it is like an antenna. These heavy metals, they build a pole for this scalar wave. So, and the scalar wave comes here, and well, I promised to explain more about this scalar technology, but this time you have to believe me that a scalar wave is not only an electromagnetic wave, it's much more than that. It can be a bridge to a machine, and it's a standing wave, and it can be used for informations that they can read in your brain, what's going on in your mind, and they can also send you a false feeling of feeling good, feeling secure, to make you dumb, stupid, that you somehow think, well, I don't feel good, but somehow it is okay. They can influence your mind, that you can't act, that you can't react of this attack. And this is not only um, uh, not only it not concerns us, target individuals. I would say that 100% of the population is manipulated by this. So how can it be that so many people believe it is only in the air, the planes are just doing condense stripes, and the air is full of chemtrails, and how can it be that so many people believe all this shit, all these lies? So it is because they send us, the whole population, this wrong consciousness. They can easily produce with relaxing frequencies, and also thoughts, feelings, everything. Well, here's another protecting thing. This is neodymium magnets. I put it in a pad. I think I already showed it in another video, but here again. And I put it here. Sorry for the interruption. I put it sometimes here in the back of my cap, and if I put it here right on this place, like this, so this can also be helpful. This is a main port. It's a gate for them to influence us, target individuals, the whole population, I would say. So give me just a second, Yeah, sorry for this noises in the background. You know, today is Saturday in Germany, and Saturday is always party day, and people have some fun making music and sitting together. This is a garden here. My neighbors try to have some fun. Well, I go on with this video, and I want to show you that this critical point, it is also mentioned in many Hollywood films. As you may know, this Hollywood production for films is connected with other parts. The Antichrist has made a lot of institutions to influence our mind, but also in some films they show us what they are doing. Maybe you remember the film Matrix. I show you a picture. This is a scene where there's Morpheus, the black man, sitting in the chair, and there's Neo. Neo is a young man doing a job in a company. He's informatic, IT specialist. He is very curious, and he makes researches in the internet, and this evil power don't like that. They are agents looking like CIA agent, black suits. They're coming for him, and they asking him, well, he has a criminal record, and he has to work with them to catch this evil Morpheus guy. Morpheus is a kind of terrorist for them because he don't accept this evil power, and so they have a talk, and then in this talk Morpheus makes an offer. He shows Neo this two pills, and he says, well, this is a blue pill, the other is a red pill. If you take the blue pill, you will forget everything. You return to your old life, and you will also forget this dog. You will forget me. You will forget everything, and you will have your old life, but you will never know what is really going on. So, if you take the red pill, you will see the truth as it is, and you will see the whole truth. And yes, he added, well, I hope you will take the red pill. And Neo decides to take the red pill. He wakes up, so then it's interesting, he comes to an kind of ship. It's called Nebuchadnezzar. The name of the ship, Morpheus has a ship, and he's moving with his ship under the surface to the earth, under the earth, like in this Jules Verne, the voyage to this middle of the earth. There's an old Roman novel from a old French author, Jules Verne, and so I think they took a little bit from this. Well, the name of the this ship of Morpheus is called Nebuchadnezzar, and it is interesting. It is the name of the old king of Babylon. Babylon is the first superpower mankind saw. It was before Jesus Christ, before the Persians had a world power. Then came the Greek, and then came the Roman world power, where we still live in the Roman system, in this Roman world power. This is a new world order. They like Babylon very much, and they take often things from Babylon, but normally the people don't realize this. Well, the name of the ship is Nebuchadnezzar, the name of the Babylon king. Well, on this ship, Neon has he meets all this crew of Morpheus, all the comrades, and they are fighting against this matrix, evil power, and they have a they give Neon this treatment. They put Neo on a chair. He leans back, and some people holding him because it hurts a lot. Yeah, they putting this electrode inside his brain. It's right this place, and it's called head jack. It's a head jack. Not Morpheus did it. The Matrix put everybody this head jack on the brain. It is because everybody is in the Matrix, gets software in the brain that everybody thinks, well, I am living a normal life, but in fact it's software the Matrix put into the brain of everybody to control them, that everybody thinks that he lives a normal life. Yeah, well, it's quite similar to our times. You see this nations, you see this news on television, and it's a big show. There are no nations, there's only one world government, and we all living in a virtual reality, and we are thinking, well, we know everything. Well, now in these days we have this Iran conflict again with this rockets and all this stuff. But it's all theater. It's all theater to blind us from reality. It's quite similar to this film Matrix. But the point is, what I want to stress on is this heat check is quite similar to this critical point, and they don't have to take a iron or whatever electrode to put in our brain. A scalar wave is a standing wave. It is much better. You don't have to touch somebody. It can be a few hundred yards that a machine is on the other side, hit you there, reading what is going on in your head, giving, if you are a targeted individual, you got a high doses of energy. A magnetic scalar wave comes, knocks you out, makes you dizzy, gives you a feeling that your whole central nervous system is shocked. It's really, it's really painful. Many TIs know this, and they don't need an electrode to put here. We have already a head jack. It's built by barium and strontium we inhale, and I can say in my apartment they giving me gas attacks with barium and strontium. You recognize this because there's a strange smelling in the air. Maybe like if you paint wood, or maybe like gasoline, kind of, and it is barium has to be separated. There's a fluid. Barium needs a fluid that is not connecting together. So if you feel something, smell something, it is like gasoline, or maybe like painting wood color, something like that. So that is heavy metals, because they need this fluid to separate it, this barium atoms and this strontium atoms. So they giving it right into my air in my apartment. They have particle beamers. They beam it right here into my lung, bronchial tubes, into my nose cavity, into my mouth, and I always have to fight against with iodide, with tea tree oil, with all tea tree oil under my nose, so I inhale, and I always have to protect, and they especially do this when I make this iodide treatment on this place. If they see this, there comes the next gas attack. And also it helps me out if I take this here. So that brings me to the conclusion that they built up here a magnetic pole for scalar waves, that they can influence everybody, because everybody inhale barium strontium, which comes down from this chemtrails, from this airplanes. But if you are a target individual, they give you extra doses of this barium and strontium, and they like to hit you here, to knock you out, to make you dizzy. So you can treat this point here with iodide, but not too strong. If you have it strong solution that can burn your skin, and this pain gives a signal to the machines, and they can read it and say, well, we have another signal, and then they can enforce the shooting on this point. So make it light version. Don't take strong. You have to avoid burning feeling on the skin, because this gives them a new attacking point. So especially this point. So take a light version of iodide solution. I made a film how to produce it by your own, and if you feel it is too strong, well, you just put some water in it to make it lighter. Okay. Here's another picture of matrix. I show it and I say something. Well, this was I found it on YouTube. It is the Next News network. I don't know. I'm not living in the States. I think it is from the television. I don't know which channel it is. Well, there was a man, and he was talking. Well, this Hollywood people who made this Matrix film, maybe they are working together with the CIA agency, how you say, somehow with secret services, and well, of course, they work both for the Jesuit order that controls Washington, controls Hollywood, controls the Pentagon, controls the CIA, controls every secret service in the world. Remember the Revelation chapter 17. She's the mother of all whores and of course of all secret services in the world. They all meet in Rome. Okay, I continue with this hijack. It is called matrix hijack brain interface. So it is an interface between machines and human beings, and it's already existing. It is not a film. It is already there. Everybody has strontium and barium inside the brain, and everybody can be with this cell phone towers. They sending the scalar waves, and they can everybody influence. I don't know how they can, if they can read the mind of everybody. I don't know. In Germany we have 80 million inhabitants, and it's a lot of people. I don't know if they can really can read all the minds of 80 million people in one time. I don't know. Maybe. Well, okay. This is another question, but going back to this show, the Next News Network, and well, this man he's talking about, well, maybe the CIA and Hollywood somehow connected, and they want to do it for soldiers, that they get their commands on a battlefield, and well, the military military is working on it, but they don't have to work on it. It's already there. So with a scalar wave, you can hit this point, and you don't need a stick of iron or copper to put in a brain. A scalar wave is connected because scalar wave is always magnetic, and barium strontium is magnetic, and barium strontium is the heavy metal that is the best heavy metal to build in our nervous system, because the electrodes are nearly similar to this copper electron configuration. You know, there are atoms and electrons surrounding these atoms, and barium strontium is it is another nuke. It's not like copper. It's more heavy or lighter. I don't know, but I think it's heavy because copper is quite light, but this electron surface on the atom is nearly similar like copper. So our nervous system takes this barium strontium after they kicked out our copper. I think they do it similar, same time. They drop out our copper from our nervous system, and then they replace it with barium strontium, so that everybody is here connected with a network of scalar waves. So they controlling. I think they control everybody in a developed world where this cell phone towers are existing. Now there comes 5G. That well, you can imagine that this is not good news. Well, there's another film. It is called the Alien films. There was one film several years ago. It's called Prometheus or Prometheus, I don't know in English. Well, it is from this film. You see this man, it's another species, it's not human. Well, in the film, it comes out that this species created us. Well, well, this is right. Connected with the Bloom Beam project. Maybe you have heard about this project that they want us to believe that alien are our fathers, our mothers, our creators, not God. So this Prometheus film is connected with this Blue Beam idea or Blue Beam project. It's really existing. You can Google it, Blue Beam. Well, this picture shows a Prometheus species, and he's receiving particles right in this brain, the backside of his brain, and it's nearly similar to my experience that they can put into this beamers, into the scalar waves. They can also put particles in it, and maybe it is possible to make nanodust of barium and strontium to beam it directly here. And it's my experience that it is possible, because always if I protect it, this critical point with leather, with alloy, and all these things I already told about in this videos I made before, well, then I feel better. So that means that I think they can also beam direct metals on this place. Here's another picture. Well, it's the same picture, and it's bigger. So you see this man suffering. Well, this man dying in this film. It is a sacrifice scene. He drinks kind of black goo, and then he his body is dying, and well, in this film, his body is moving into dust, so this comes out of his body. But in what my experience is that right here, this is the critical point, and I got particles right on this place, and I think it's not. It is not coincidence. I mean, it is. For me, it is. I think they're showing us what they are doing in their Hollywood films, and well, but nobody realize it. But I can really say that this is my experience, that they beam right on this place, and it's not only energy. Well, you know, this electromagnetic waves or the scalar waves are somehow filled with small particles. Even a light is a light, visual light has also photons, and photons are very small pieces, quantum, and maybe they have found a technology to put down this metals into quantum dot size, so that they can send it with scalar waves to this brain. And how can they find this point? Well, it is easy. You go into a hospital, you have some doctors, and you tell them, well, we need tissue from this reptilian brain, from the small brain, and you can analyze it with the Scala technology. You find this information. Every part of the body has a special information field. It's a field of yeah, I will explain it in other videos. But if you have a lot of samples of this reptilian brain, you collect it and you analyze it with this Scala wave technology. You get a special frequency, and you connect this with the frequency of a targeted individual. You know, the Morgellons, they can build an antenna with our DNA information, so only this TI gets the beam, nobody else, and so they can hit targeted individual mediums right here. It's all possible with this Scala technology. Well, I promised that I try to explain it, but I'm sorry, I don't have so much time. And as I said before, I start with this helping things. Well, this is helpful, and it's called Psyllium seed husk. So you should take this with water. Meanwhile, you treating this point with iodide. You should treat it. You have to destroy this magnetic pole. If you do this, you will feel quite better. There is, if you do this, there's clear thinking, clear consciousness, and you may get a shock of your situation then because you realize then your situation, but it's good. It's better to have a clear mind right in this situation. Well, see you next video.